Hello there, YouTubers. Making another movie on what I do to get the sawmill ready to saw a log. I guess I haven't shown that. I've always picked up on logs already generally on deck. So the first thing I do, I got to see where I'm at kind of in the movie here. The first thing I do is I just kind of push these. These got play in them. If they had a newer mill, probably wouldn't have that in. I run a bead of oil up each side of these. Don't hit your head on that, whatever's up there. On that. Then there's a couple spots for oiling on this. You oil that. Once again, you go down all these, and you put oil in them. You got little pillow things back there with little oil slots in there. You put oil in those. Those I've already oiled all this. I was getting ready, and then I said, you know, maybe everybody'd like to see it. I put oil on the wheels. Put oil on the wheel that goes around to get that going on there, and just let it go. I put a lot of oil on the wheels mostly when I do sticky wood, because then stuff doesn't stick as much to it. Also, when you're cutting oak and you get all that oak sawdust on there, the oak sawdust has a tendency to really eat things up. So usually if I saw oak afterwards, I'll try to blow the mill off, keep it from eating. Also, do your dogs, okay? Like I said, I've already done these. But don't be chintzy on the oil. I'm just using old motor oil. I save all the motor oil, put it on there, and run these things up and down so you know they're running free. Like I said, I've already oiled these, so they're pretty good. You can put a little oil on this. Don't be, oil keeps things from rusting. And even though the thing sits underneath the shed all the time, it's condensate that causes more problem than just rain getting on it. Rain gets on there, and that's not good particularly either. I don't really like it, but these mills sit out in the rain forever. But condensate probably rots it more than anything. Now this particular mill is old, so it has little things under here with wheels. So you got to flip these little flippers up and put oil, so it goes down on these bearings underneath there. Then know the length of your log. Okay, you don't want to saw a log that's a whole lot longer than what your beds are. I know I've been doing it. That's why I'm getting a bigger mill. But you want to keep your log maybe only a couple inches beyond each one of these head blocks. So I know that I cut that banana log that I just showed you on the mill. That was 15 foot. So I cut it in half. So I know I got two 7/6s. So I want these to be set at about 7/6. So right now I'm at 7/6, and that puts me. It's just a little bit tight down there because the dog is on the far side. These things slide up and down on the carriage, so you can adjust it. I'll see if you're in the frame, and I'll slide that other one up another couple inches. If you keep oil on them, they slide easy. They're not too hard to slide. You just get behind it and give it a push. I want to move this one in about 6 more inches. But if you see, these things slide so you can go where you want it to go. I don't remember where I'm at now. If you keep oil on them, they don't slide too bad. On the newer mills, okay, I'm 7/6. I'm right there. So that's just about where I want it. Now I know I'm running about a 16-inch log. So I want to be back, probably 16, 18 inches. Because if I'm back only 16 inches, it'll hit the blade on the way in. So if you go on your dial, you can take it back to 20. Some people reset this so when the log hits it, they can't go back. Some people hit it that way, so when it comes back, it'll go. The pros and cons are, it may go back further than you want. And some of the cons are, if you're dogged in down there and you got a big massive log coming in there, it might break one of your teeth off. I guess I wasn't in there very good. Let me go back over here and do that. I'm back now beyond the width of the log, and give it a couple inches so I can kind of adjust it the way I want it. Maybe the taper's got to be tapered and something like that. Because if you're showing 18 here and you pull an inch taper, that's 19. That's going to hit the blade. What I was showing was, if you set this here, those L's now cannot go back. If you roll a big heavy log in there and it hits there, it's going to put a lot of a lot of stress on these dogs here and might chip your tooth. If you go like that way, when you hit it, I don't know if I can push it back. But if you get a big log, these will roll back, and you've seen it on some of my other movies where I'm rolling a log and that's moving back. Probably shouldn't really do that, but sometimes I do. It just, you kind of do what you get in motion for. I'm gonna go ahead and try to roll this log up. This is one of those I cut in half, and see if I can get it on here without a total catastrophe. Let's see. I know I want the end of the log to come to right about here, so that's what I'm shooting for. This is just kind of a extra little pieces I have in here, so it won't come off. I think I gotta make the log roll a little bit more to the front. Believe it or not, these things are a little heavier than I thought they were going to be. I can't seem to just pull them around, which sometimes you can. Let me get a log spinner. See where I'm at. I might have to take it off and redo it. Now, you can do this with the engine going or without the engine going. It just depends on where you're at. This thing's got a lot of got a flat spot in it too. Now I can get behind the pipe, push it up. That's, yeah, but the new modern mill, you have chains that bring these things up. I don't have that. I don't have that chain. Now see, now I'm running into a situation where I just need to move the carriage back instead of starting it off. Just move it with this, I think. Reason being, it's got crooked. If I try to pull it back, these are going to come off, so I don't really want to do that. But it's coming in at an angle. It's coming in at an angle, so it's now. Sometimes I'll leave the logs where they fall on the mill, but this thing wants to roll forward, so I'm going to let it come down. Because I think it's got a flat spot there, I'm going to try to push it in there. Sometimes I'll roll them all the way around. The reason I'm doing that is I want the log to be comfortable where it's at the best I can, because I don't want it to roll on me. Now, so it won't roll, I'm going to dog it. And now this other back end, I don't know, I guess it's in that movie. Sometimes you don't know what's in that movie. And I know if I'm behind these, that I'm probably half an inch or so from the blade. Now you got to set your taper. The taper is to adjust for how the tree grows. This log here is 16 inches at the small end, and it's 18 inches here, so I know I got 2 inches of taper. So to cut the log straight, I want to take half the taper off one side and half the taper off the other side. I don't know if the sun's kind of getting me now. Go over that, because now this is 16 here and it's 18 down at the other end. So I got 2 inches of taper. If I take all the taper here, every board's going to come off and go crooked. Every board. If I take half the taper here and half the taper on this side, I stand more chance of them coming off straight. So that's kind of what I'm shooting for here. The log is comfortable where it's at. I'm kind of comfortable with where it's at. I think as you could probably saw it now without dogging. Now I'm going to put about an inch of taper on that. I'm going to bring it up till it hits the log. You see it straightening out, and that's where I'm going to dog it. I'm going to try to dog it a little beyond center. See, I didn't quite make it onto this dog here. can't quite see that. I didn't quite make it. So if I can push this up another inch, I'll be in there. Which that ain't gonna do either. So you know, I'm probably not gonna worry about it. If I, it's only real important on your first thing. I mean, the log isn't gonna go anywhere. It's comfortable where it's sitting. It's dogged into 2 spots. It's got its taper, which is not exactly the taper that I want, because it's got a little bit, I just don't like that taper. There, I think I like that a little bit better. Doesn't look like it was much, but this one here was a little bit bowed, and it was bowed and it wasn't sitting against the L here. I might try to knock that over. I just missed it a little bit. I only missed it by a hair. So if I get that to come up a hair, there, I feel a little more comfortable with it. A lot of saws, you see those high-speed ones, they come down and they just grab it with 2 dogs. Those are air dogs or hydraulic dogs. They're grabbing it from both sides. I don't know if I'm in the film again. Not that it really makes any difference. You see a lot of the big automatic mills, when they come down on it, they're not just coming down on the top. They're coming from the down on top and bottom, and they're clamping that thing in. And so it really can't go anywhere. Mark's is that way, I do believe. And the other Frick one that we do that's got the air dogs on it is that way. And so it's pretty secure. But these old mills just came down from the top unless you had a quarter saw jig on them. The quarter saws would grab it from top and bottom because you're cutting some pretty particular stuff. Anyhow, this one's ready to go. I'm gonna probably chop these. There's a little knot here which I don't like. Those things become projectiles when you're sawing. And I don't think that one would, but it's just gonna be annoying all the way down the line. I'm gonna get some of this bark off because that stuff just gets underneath the mill and then it's just harder to clean out. So, well, what am I at time wise? I'm already at 12. It sure doesn't take long to jabber and get up to some crazy time real quick, but I'll show you. Believe it or not, that thing is solid. There it goes. But you can get some of the bark off here, and it's just easier to deal with here. You just got to clean it up. There's another knot, but I won't be cutting that off on the first go around. Try to get some of this stuff up. All right, well that's it for this movie. I'll shoot another movie. You know, I'll drop 2 in a night. They're short, but there's no editing out of all the nonsense. I got that one piece down there that I was going to saw and try to get one more board out of, but it just isn't worth it. That's that one that I showed you how much they bow and warp. That thing bowed and warped enough that it's probably got a 1/2 inch bow or warp to it now. So if I want to get a board out of it, it's just getting it too close to the dog, so it's not worth the effort. So over and out on this one.